We are getting towards the end of summer 2016, so that means you're going back to school for the most part, if you're not above like 25, and you're going back to college or high school or anything like that. I get a lot of questions asking, what camera should I buy for college? What are some deals? So, and especially going back from when I went through college and needing your own camera and everything like that, I've got some advice for you for some back to school cameras under $600. $600 is definitely a lot of money, I really understand, but I did the best I could find for you with the technology out there, unless you're completely buying used cameras or something. But this is what you can go into stores now, that be it Amazon, Best Buy, B&H Photo, any of the stores out there, and you can find very comparable cameras with something like this. I did some Canon, Nikon, and Sony, pretty much the ones that I always recommend. There are some others out there, but they're not necessarily budget friendly. But here are some cameras that you could use in college and school, especially when you need to get your own to fit into the class. Plus, you can build with these going down the line. Here are some of my options for these cameras. Number one on my list I have right here is the Canon T5, which is a little bit older at this point. There is a Canon T6, which I'll cover in 1 second, but it's at a bundle right now for $450, and it might have another month or a couple weeks of this, but you get the kit lens, the 18-55, which is a standard lens that you get with these cameras, but you also get your telephoto, your 55-200, included all for around $450. It's great because the Canon EOS Rebel T5 has HD video, so you're gonna get, you can learn with video as you're going along. 18 megapixels, which is a great sensor for that. It has 3 frames per second, so it's not going to be the best if you really need to shoot action sports or something like that. So keep that in mind. That's really when you kind of click the shutter and continue. It really gives you just 3 bursts. So keep that in mind. It's not going to be best for that. ISO range 100 to 6400. Once again, that's not top of the line, but for learning and for building, it's really not a bad deal. Once again, that is the Canon EOS Rebel T5. You get the 18-55, 55-250 lens, and as you're growing, you'll realize that that's a great starting point for something like this. That's $450. Now, as I also mentioned, that there is a newer version of this, the Canon T6, but that doesn't have the telephoto lens with it. It just is the regular 18-55 lens, and it's $499. So we're still under $600, and you still have some room to grow. So with that, it's newer technology with very similar specs in it. So if you want to get the bundle, I absolutely recommend that. But if you are a person who likes newer gear, definitely look at the T6. It's a fantastic option. Now, for a lot of these cameras, you're also going to learn about low light and using different lenses, difference between zoom lenses and prime lenses. This is priced well because if you get any of these, I would also recommend looking at a Canon 50mm 1.8 lens for low light photography, and you'll learn about that more in class, or just look at some of my stuff on the channel. It's called the Plastic Fantastic. It's great in low light situations, so just keep that in mind, and that's also typically around, or if not, under $100. Now, don't get me wrong, I do have a cheat right here, and this is like 2.5 cameras that I have for Canon. It is actually a video creator kit bundle that is actually really worth the price if you can afford it. It is over $600 by 100. It's a $700 kit, but if you're learning video and you really want to get some couple things, I think that this is a great option. It's still available right now on most sites. So check it out. This is for $700. It's the Canon Rebel T5i. There's a difference between the 5 line and the 5i and all that kind of stuff. But with that, you get 18 megapixels and improved ISO from 100 to 12,800, which it does pretty well for it being crop sensor cameras, which all of these are. But it has a very angled flip out screen, which is amazing because you can, do better video if you want to maybe do YouTube videos and everything like that. It's a great option to have something like that. But the cool thing is that this does come with that 18-55 lens. It includes a 32 gigabyte SD card that you can use right away, and it also includes a mic that you can have on top of your camera, the Video Mic Go. So this is a great video kit if you want to get more into than just still photography. It's a great kit to look into. Now, to going, what I shoot is a lot of Nikon gear, and I just have some suggestions for Nikon. It is the Nikon D3300. Now, you might be seeing the D3400 out there, but that is about $650. If you want the newest, you could go that route. But I could save you some money. You could save over $100, if not a little bit more, looking at the D3300 because it's essentially the exact same camera spec-wise. So keep that in mind. You don't always need the newest. It has 24 megapixels, does a full HD video, 100 to 12,800 ISO, 5 frames per second. Not going to be the best video camera, but yet again, these are entry-level still cameras. I think that's going to be one of the best things. That's what I learned growing up on a Nikon D3000, which didn't even have video, which is pretty crazy now, but keep that in mind. And that's going to be $550 for the Nikon D3300. Sticking around the same price point, maybe a little bit cheaper, is the Nikon D5200 for about $500. That also comes with the 18-55 Nikon kit lens. 24 megapixels, does 1080p full video, and 5 frames per second. So it's another great camera, another great option. If you want to do a little bit more video-wise, especially on the Nikon side, I would recommend looking at the D5000 line like this, Nikon D5200. And just a little caveat, if you could get this on sale, it's like on sale for like right around $600 right now. I don't know how long it's going to last. But there is the Nikon D5300, which is definitely a little bit better, and the ISO low light range is improved a little bit. I don't know how long the Nikon D5300 will be on sale, but keep that in mind if you can find it very comparable for that price. So I covered those couple DSLR cameras, which you'll learn a lot more about that, but then there are also mirrorless cameras, which have really come over the market in the past 2 years. And I'm just gonna recommend 2 Sony cameras for something like this, just because they're more budget friendly compared to some of the others. And I'm gonna start off with the Sony A5000, which comes with a 16-50 kit lens and is only $450. These are great cameras to work with. They're very portable, lightweight. I mean, they work the same as DSLRs for the most part. The lens selection as you grow might not be the best, but to learn on, I've felt that they've been extremely well to learn on as well. The A5000 has 20 megapixels, 4 frames per second. So once again, that's going to be not fast if you want to do sports and learn about sports, but it does do full HD video, but it has a really cool selfie screen or flip up screen, especially if you want to vlog or do some, self-portraits or something like that. So that's always something to keep in mind. And to really round out the list, and this is something that I've owned, and if you can catch this right now, it's at the $600 price point. If not, it fluctuates between $600 to $700. But this also comes with a 16-50 kit lens, and it's the Sony A6000. I have a full review on that I will link down in the description below, so that way you can fully see what you're spending your money on. But this is the camera I highly recommend if you're going the Sony route, the A6000. It's 24 megapixels, does 11 frames per second. Amazing quality, video, slow-mo, and all that kind of stuff. So it's very much worth the price of admission for that. And the autofocusing on that is fantastic and very, very smooth. So all of these I would definitely look into. And one of the common questions is, well, which do I buy? They're similar prices, the DSLRs are DSLRs. It really comes down to feel. You will either like or dislike the feel of a mirrorless camera in your hands. So I always recommend going to a local store or renting something you're about to spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on, to see if you like the feel and the menu systems of how things work. So definitely you will like a menu system over Canon, over Nikon, or vice versa, or the feel of a Sony A6000 over the feel of a Nikon D3300 or whatever. Keep in mind, it really comes down to feel and personal taste. But these are some of the options that I have under $600 that will get you the best image quality that you can for a budget, especially when you need to buy these for schooling. And don't get me wrong, these are new prices. You could definitely look used. There's refurbished and everything. And there's other older models out there. It's just you can't really buy them in stores much. So keep all this in mind. I know this was a lot of information. I went through the same ordeal. I spent $500 on that Nikon D3000. And I had a new camera, a new model come out, the D3300, a couple months later, and I was like, ugh, I had to upgrade because it had video. So any questions or comments, I've gone through what you're thinking about right now, please leave those down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know it was a bit long, but I really wanted to provide information to you that I didn't have back when I was going through this process. So it's a lot of money, but it's well worth growing into. And now, I started out with a $400 or $500 camera, now I've improved to better, and that's just by learning and really knowing how to, work the system and everything like that. Thank you so much for watching. Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye. Give us a quick like if this really helped you out, and share this video if this can help out you, your friends, or maybe someone in your family. As always, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe for more photography and tech videos. Have a good one.